Thank you. Also, hi from my side. I'm very happy to introduce the Battery Startup Incubator to you. We want to accelerate battery startups from research to market. And I would say we are already here for energy serenity. We need to strengthen the whole battery ecosystem. And if we look to it from the really beginning, the R&D, it actually, we are not that poor. We are well funded and we are strong in battery research. But what we want to make better is to lower the energy barrier to go out of the lab and bring the innovations into the market. And that's where the Battery Startup Incubator wants to contribute. The Battery Startup Incubator is fully funded by the Federal Ministry of Research, Technology and Space. And we profit from the strong ecosystem from the Venture Labs, which is a joint venture of the classical entrepreneurship hub of Unternehmertum and the Technical University of Munich. And the idea of it is that, especially in the beginning of the phase, there's very different support. If you have an industry heavy startup, let's say in the battery production, or you have a software startup. And that's why the Battery Startup Incubator was built to take the strong ecosystem already existing from the entrepreneurship hub and bring it to whole Germany in the battery sector. And the system we profit from is, I would say, very successful. The teams acting in it in 24 raised over 2 billion. And this we now want to apply to all of Germany. We do this with four main part of support, and I would say the outstanding one is probably the access to lab and prototyping facilities. We just started 3 months ago, and together with the Venture Labs, we have 400 square meter, which we can offer to the early teams, funded and unfunded, where they can start testing out their ideas. And this we want to expand, that we also get the prototyping facilities and the lab that already exist in research accessible for startups. Beside that, we offer, I would say, the more classical incubator service. We work with the team together on domain-specific education and really bring them, let's say, from the lab to the entrepreneurship world. We focus on the very early stage startups, really where they are in the ideation prototyping phase, where they need, I would say, not very cost intensive infrastructure, where they need the support and make them ready that they get external capital. But we love to keep also our more mature teams because they are the best mentors for our early stage teams. We do this with a team which is, I would say, very well balanced between entrepreneurship background and technical background to support our teams, and back with an advisory board from the Venture Labs and the TUM University. And we are happy not only to get teams that are interested to go this super interesting journey with us, but we also need infrastructure that you could make available for teams and always technical expert for feedbacks for our teams. Open for questions.
All right. Thank you very much, Tanja, and perfectly on time. So if there are questions from the audience, just raise your hand. You can also text them in the chat. Maybe let me start with a question. Is there any rule, or do startups have to have fulfill certain requirements for them to be part of your startup initiative?
There are some, I would say, entry gate page, then we have a technical deep dive with them. But really basic, I would say, normally but even there, when you are not a team, which when you are a solo research in the lab and you have a great idea, then we would find somebody who like cover your weakness, and then you can be part of the incubator. But there, we also have a support system, and you need some, because we from the German government funded, you need some German relation, I would say. But that are normally the only hard entry gate barriers we have as an incubator.
All right, thank you. We also have a question from the audience.
Yeah, hello, Tuomas Messa from Cell Life Technologies. So just a question about your this prototyping lab. What kind of cells you can make there? Like what kind of form factors?
At the moment, we use the venture lab areas, which are chemistry labs, and the teams we have so far, they brought their own infrastructure. So it's not a battery equipped lab yet. This we hope to build in the next year. At the moment, we have teams that bring their own infrastructure into a lab. The lab is, I would say, a basic chemistry equipped lab. So they have access to fume hoods, gas supply, waste supply, analytics of the university. But the battery specific one, we are still in building up. Or I would say our main action is actually to enable the access in already existing lab. We want this normally very long negotiation between chairs, universities, and entrepreneurship hub to make way faster. Let's say a team has maybe some money and want to enter existing facility. We try to make this way faster and less complicated.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And yeah, I think you were perfectly on time, so we have time for another question. Hmm. Sasha, you were raising your hand.
Yes, yes, Max. Thanks, Tanya. So just correct me if I'm wrong. You're also supporting the startups or early stage companies coming from outside Germany, let's say, and would like to settle up in Germany. So I mean, since there is a number of joint research projects between different countries, yeah, so like Germany, Canada, Germany, India, and I would say, would you also support a company like researchers who want to start up in Germany but coming from Canada or India?
Yeah, if we see some, let's say, real motivation to, let's say, build up a facility at a prototyping, the customer are in Germany, that then we work with the team.
Mhm.